Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. 007 here. This video is going to be about my keto diet, how I'm keeping my keto diet while I'm hiking. I learned quite a few lessons from when I attempted the Appalachian Trail this year. Did about 30 days of that, had some injuries that I had to recover from. And so right now, my situation is I'm about 23 days out from doing the Foothills Trail in South Carolina. Just kind of, it's 76 miles, it'll be a week long, and I'm hoping just to get a feeling for my knee and my legs and make sure everything's healed up, and then I'll take it from there. But right now I'm focused on the Foothills Trail, and I will be posting my normal videos when I'm out doing that. But as most of you know, and if you're new to the channel, I'm diabetic. I was on insulin with my diabetes, and then a few years ago I went on the keto diet, and I've been able to stay off insulin by keeping my carbs very low. When I attempted the Appalachian Trail, I did not want to lose. I didn't want to just throw my diet to the wind and do whatever. First off, because then I'd be back on insulin, and that would even be more problematic on the trail. So I came up with a way to resupply and keep to my keto diet. Now, some of the lessons learned, and I'll go through exactly what I have. Probably the first thing you should know on a keto diet, it is, some people say, hey, you can't eat the same thing every day and do whatever, and they're right. I mean, it can get boring, but I know that if I don't stay to this diet, I'm going back to insulin and it's going to be worse. So it kind of incentivizes me to stay on the diet. And food for me has not, in America here, we love to eat, everything's around food. Food's become boring to me for the most part. So I just, I eat because I have to. And the taste isn't as big a deal as you might think to some, but that's kind of the way it is. So with that, so right now on the Appalachian Trail, I was looking at net carbs, and net carbs subtracts the amount of carbs from the fiber and whatever, and it comes up with net carbs. So I'll give you a good example. So the Quest bar, right? 4 grams of net carbs, and I would do a Quest bar in the morning and in the afternoon while I was hiking. On the days I would do a protein bar, and then other days I would do another one, which I'll get into. But so the Quest bar is actually 22 grams of carbohydrates, but it says 4 grams of net carbs. So you subtract the 13 grams of fiber and the added alcohol, sugar from alcohols and so forth, and it gets it down to 4 grams. That wasn't really working for me. It sounds great in theory, but I have now gone back to counting carbohydrates and not getting into net carbs, because with the net carbs, I was doing some keto-friendly or carb-friendly tortillas, and bread and different things like that, and I've just noticed my blood sugar levels were creeping up quite a bit. So these have given way now to these here, which are the IQ bar. So there's a couple different flavors, and so the IQ bar has a total of let me see here, 18. So 18 grams of carbs. That's with both of them. So it's 9 each. So that both of these are 18, and 2 of these were 44. So it kind of gives you an idea the difference. And I'm trying to stay under 50 grams of carbohydrates. That keeps my blood sugar levels down and helps me out. So that's kind of the goal, to keep under 50 grams of carbohydrates. But the challenge, of course, is you need a lot of calories because you're hiking and so forth. Now, when I started the Appalachian Trail, And I know there's some other videos out there where I talk about my diet when I first started. And so I hiked, I think about 10 days. I had my first injury with a pull tendon in my right leg. Could have been my left leg. Can't remember at this point. And I came back home to recover, and I had lost, I want to say like 12, 15 pounds just in, a little over a week. So I knew that was an issue, so I tweaked my diet a little bit and went back out then when that injury had healed, and I did 3 or 4 weeks more. Got injured again, had to come back to recover from that, and when I came back after 3 weeks, I had only lost 7 or 8 pounds. So my diet was definitely doing a lot better. Right now, I'm hinging around 3,000 calories a day. I'm doing the Foothills Trail. It's a week long, so I'm not as concerned. If I lose a little weight, that's all right. I'd pick it back up pretty quick. But with my diet the way I have it, I'm at right around 3,000 calories, depending on, one meal has, 480 calories and the other one 590. So they kind of fluctuate a little bit, 100 or 2 here. But I'm right at the 3,000 calorie area, and my carbohydrates are around 41. So that's good for me. And my protein, which is another big deal, is around 66 grams a day. So that's good as well. So, all right. So let me take you through a normal day, and I'll tell you where things have tweak or not. One thing I learned on the trail, I had brought enough to have coffee in the morning. So I had one of these Nescafe instant coffees that I would have in the morning. And that was all good, but man, in the evening, when everything slowed down and now I was done eating, I was good for the day. Having another cup of coffee, because coffee doesn't keep me awake, I don't know why. But having another cup of coffee was a big deal, and man, it made my day. So, Moneypenny, that's my wife. Her trail name is Moneypenny. So these Taster's Choice from Nescafe, and they're pretty tasty. So I'd have a cup of coffee in the evening. So I have 2 of these, which are really no carbs at all. So that's my coffee. In the morning, now I will tell you, when I first started, these Keto Bricks, it's a great concept. The Keto Brick is, it's 1,000 calories, and total carbohydrates for the whole 1,000 calories is 14 grams. But it tastes like you're eating chalk, and I had these for my first attempt through the AT. And man, after a couple days, when I came back and had to redo everything, just the thought of eating these, because when you chew on it, and I have a video out there, I think on the Art Glass, or the Art Lobe Trail, sorry, I know somebody named Art Glass, on the Art Lobe Trail, I talk about the Keto Brick. It's not too bad, but I mean, it just started to turn my stomach after a while. That, just the thought of munching on this all day just bugged me. So what we did was, because I already, own like 1 million of these, Moneypenny sat down and said, hey, what if I make it a little smaller? So these, what I call Keto Drops, were the result of that conversation. So basically what Moneypenny does is she takes a Keto Brick and she melts it down, and then she pours it into like a little mini muffin pan, and it makes these little ones right here. And what I do in the morning with my coffee is I'll pop one of these, and if I can put the whole thing in my mouth and it's not that chalky taste, I put the whole thing in my mouth, it dissolves in my mouth, and I'm good. And then in the evening with the coffee, I take another one. So that gets some calories into me with those 2. Now, I will tell you a challenge with this is these will melt in heat. So what I did was I made, with this foil that you can buy at Lowe's and whatever. And I have another one that I put my hot meals with, you know, when you pour your hot water in one of the dehydrated meals, and I put it in one of these and seal it up. And then I wait the 5-8 minutes, whatever you have to wait, and then I eat it. Helps keep it warm. So I use that same material and I cut it up. And when I get, 5 days of these keto drops, I call them, I put them all in this. And then what I do in my fanny pack, for lack of a better word, I have a small one that I just fold the two. So these are for the day. So I put these together, I put it in my fanny pack, and then when I get up in the morning, pack my tent up, I just pull this out and I eat one, and then I put the other one back in here, and then in the evening I eat the other one. And this worked great on the AT. They didn't melt, it just kept the heat away from them. So this was a great thing, and these weigh nothing. So, well, everything weighs something, of course, but they weigh next to nothing. So that was a great solution for that. The other thing I found on the AT, in the morning for breakfast, even though, these I just kind of put in my mouth and dissolved and drank coffee, but I needed something to chew on to get me going for the day. So when I came back after the first 10 days, I started looking around. In fact, I think I actually found this when I was on the AT, the second half, in, like a Dollar General or Walmart or something. So in the Atkins, and I was looking for something, something like I want to say like a cookie or a muffin or something like that. So the Atkins has these soft baked energy bars. They also have another one, strawberry shortcake bar, and they're very low on carbs. The breakfast bar, it's 18 total, either one of these. I have, one day this one day this one. I try to mix it up a little bit, but I have that with my coffee then in the morning. So coffee, keto drop, one keto drop, and a breakfast bar of some type. And that's good for me, and that keeps me going then up until my first snack of the day, which is around 9-ish. I always start hiking early in the morning. I love to see the sunrise, and that won't change on the Foothills Trail either. So moving on to some of the things I have in my bag. I use the Element. These are great. They give me electrolytes, next to no carbs in these. So normally what I do, I have 2 of these in my fanny pack. In the morning, I'll drink one when I resupply with water. I'll drink one, and then in the afternoon, I'll drink another one. And then, I'm drinking water all day, but I mix this with 1 liter, and then, that's what I have morning and afternoon. So 2 of these packets a day. And then I throw a couple of the sugar-free Jolly Ranchers in as I'm walking if I feel like I'm getting hungry, or I just need something because I'm kind of getting thirsty. Put one of the Jolly Ranchers in, and that takes most of that away, so I don't have an issue with that. So then around 9, I normally try to have some kind of a snack. Now, I have 2 options that I've narrowed it down to that I use. One is a protein bar, so one day I'll have 2 protein bars, one in the morning and one in the afternoon. The IQ bar is the new one I'm with. It's 9 carbs each, so that's 18 carbs a day with the 2 protein bars, and these are like 180 calories. Yeah, 180 calories. So one in the morning, one in the afternoon. That's one day. The next day, I eat pemmican. So if you don't know about pemmican, and you're on a keto diet and you're backpacking, even if you're not on a keto diet and you're backpacking, these are a lot of calories. And there's a video, if you look at all my videos, of Moneypenny and I making pemmican. It's basically dried meat with fat, and I put a lot of salt in mine, but if you're not a diabetic, you can add cranberries to it, nuts, whatever, to give it a little more flavor. But I just do the meat, fat, and salt. So you can see here there's actually 2 bars here, and so I'll have one in the morning and one in the afternoon around 3. So one day protein bars, morning, afternoon, and one day is pemmican, morning, afternoon. Pemmican's a little heavier, but man, the amount of calories, one of these is like 500 calories for the 1/2. So a lot of calories in that, and that really helps me out. So that takes care of my snacks. Now around noonish, try to sit down. The food really helps me to have breaks. I need to have a break because otherwise I found when I was hiking on the AT, man, I just push all day. And I had 2 liters of water with me, both on my pack in the back. And my thought was, if I need water, I'll just drop my pack, sit down, drink some water, and then put it back on and go. Well, I'm not wired that way, I guess. And so I found a lot of times I'm walking up a hill thinking, man, I'm thirsty, but I don't want to stop. I don't want to drink my pack. So what I did was I went with one of the smaller bottles. So on the AT, for the most part, I carried this in a sleeve on my harness. On the AT, I was carrying like 3/4 of a liter up here, and that really worked out on the second half when I went, because then I could just drink water as I was walking, and that really helped me out because hydration is a big deal. And then I have another liter, or I have a liter in my pack, and then this. So if it gets really bad, I could switch them. This would fit in there, or if I stopped, I'd just drink out of this one. My electrolytes, I always put in the whole liter, and most times I would force that down and drink it anyway. So, but that is the water that I carried on the AT. Now, on the Foothills Trail, I'm going to go with 1.5 liters. This is not a 3/4 bottle, mainly because there's so much water on the Foothills Trail. I'm not concerned about that. And before you start messaging and saying, what are you going to do if you need more? I have a bladder, a 3-liter bladder that I use that when I get in camp at night and you go to water source, I put, I'll fill up both of these, and I'll fill up the 3-liter bladder, bring it back to the tent, and I am good, because a lot of times water sources are a little bit of a walk, from the campground or the shelter or wherever you're staying. So, I got tired real quick of, I fill these up, and then I have dinner, I'm filling up my dehydrated meal, and then trying to, force water because I want to hydrate. And then I needed to go back to get more water, because in the morning I didn't want to go down in the dark to get water for coffee, and then I didn't know when my next water source was. So with the 3-liter bladder, I'm able to fill these up in the evening, fill up the 3-liter bladder, come back, I can empty these, eat my evening meal, and then I can refill them with the bladder. And in the morning, I normally still have, 1/3 to 1/2 of this, and I use that then to make my coffee. So when I start walking in the morning, these 2 are full, and if I have anything left out, I dump it from this. On that, I use the Ketodine filter. It worked really well for me. I really like it. I like this, the bag that it has. This is my dirty water. Put it in there, put it on here. I put it into those. The nice thing was I could fill this up with dirty water, and it, I didn't look for it this way. It just kind of happened. What I didn't realize was the Ketodine filter fits right on this bladder. So this is all dirty water in here, and whatever I'm using, I can use the Ketodine right into that, and it worked perfect. So yeah, and I seen this on, I think Captain Jack on YouTube always had his bladder with him. So that's kind of the way I do that. And the way I transport this is, you know, because somebody, I'm trying to think of his trail name, Bouge, I think ended up being his trail name as I recall. He came up to me, him or Happy, and said, "Hey, I heard you have this real fancy way of carrying your Ketodine filter." Now, I don't know that it's that fancy, but what I basically did, I took a 1 liter bottle and then I just put some tape on the top so it doesn't have an edge, and then I just fit the Ketodine filter in there, and I just, you know, and then I just put that in on the other side of my pack. So that's how I protect the Ketodine filter. So at lunch, I stop and I'll have these Chomps beef sticks, which have no carbs, 100 calories, and I normally have either Spam or tuna with virgin olive oil or salmon with virgin olive oil, and that's pretty good for me for lunch. I do that, and then I already covered my snack in the afternoon and the evening. So next mile meals, man, these are lifesaver here. 9 grams of carbs, 590 calories in this one. A couple different, there's about 5 flavors that I like. So that's what next mile meals, not real cheap, but they're not as expensive as some. So they got, for me, for my keto, and the next mile meals is all about being keto friendly and low carb. So chicken and broccoli, casserole, there's a steak omelet with green peppers, Italian style beef marinara. This one's pretty good. The only problem with this one is the cheese. When you pour the water in, the cheese all clumps together. So you got a big clump of cheese. Man, if I could figure out a way to spread that out to everything. But I do like that one. Coconut chicken curry, and then the scrambled eggs with sausage is the other one. So those are my evening meals. You know, they're around 500, 600 calories in the evening, and then I have my coffee, of course, with that. And yeah, so that's kind of my day. The food that I have through the day. I have 5 days. 6 days is what I need, I believe, for the Foothills Trail. I'll get down to that in a little as my planning comes out. I have an option to stash some, but I'll probably just carry the 6 days and go that route. It doesn't weigh that much. My pack weight is right around 30 pounds, you know, and that's with water and food. So it's not too bad. And as soon as I start eating and the water goes down, I'm pretty good. I think my dry weight is right in 22 pounds, somewhere in there. I don't get all wrapped up in the weight. I didn't have a big issue with it on the AT. So yeah, so that's where I am. I'm probably going to do an equipment video as well before I start the Foothills Trail, because there has been some changes to my pack and my shoes. I still have the Durston Mid 2 that I love, so I'll go over those in an equipment video. But other than that, that's how I'm staying on a keto diet. If you follow me before, you know every evening I wrap up the day and I tell you what my blood sugar levels are. That way you can kind of keep track. You know, I check my blood morning, noon, and evening, and I'll tell you what they are so you know how this is working. You know, the biggest challenge with the keto is trail magic. And I will tell you, I am not strong-willed enough to pass by trail magic. So I try to eat healthy there. You know, I'm not pulling out a donut or something, but, you know, King Tut really helped me out with what they hit, peanut butter and celery. Oh God, just thinking about it makes me happy. You know, I King Tut there in North Carolina. No, I think we're still in Georgia. Come up to him. He's a trail angel. Those of you that hike know him. I walked up and, you know, they were trying to give me a ham and cheese, grilled cheese sandwich, something like that. I said, man, I can't, I'm on a keto diet. And, you know, I'm pretty happy with just hot coffee at that point. And he said, how about some peanut butter and Southern Hot? Dude, you have made my life. And I just sat there with a knife and the peanut butter and the celery, spread it on, and life was good. So if I can, I'll make something work there. I'll fudge a little bit. I know Max Patch bumped into some Trail Magic there, and the guy, all he had left were bagels with nothing on it. So I had a plain bagel and a Coke, and it wasn't a Coke Zero or a Diet Coke. It's probably the best Coke and bagel I think I've ever had. I just sat there eating that dry bagel and drinking Coke with it. And yeah, because you get hungry. I mean, it's real. And, you know, I won't let those go by again. So we'll see how it goes. I'm not sure if I'm going to bump into any Trail Magic, you know, middle October on the Foothills Trail, but you never know. And if we do, I'll definitely share it with you guys. If you like what you see, make sure you hit that like and subscribe button. And I'll see you out there on the Foothills Trail.
You're falling under the water, can't seem to catch your breath. Cold stare